earlier this month. To the NBA, where Bulls star Zach LaVine says he plans to enjoy his upcoming free agency, but he didn't rule out a return to Chicago. LaVine was a part of the Bulls' hot start, but missed time with the knee injury and was in health and safety protocols for the team's final playoff game. And how about Zion Williamson? He spoke to the media today for the first time since September. He didn't play this season, but said he can't wait to re-up with the Pelicans. Zion is eligible for a 5-year rookie extension.
It's been a rough year. Had its rough patches, but I'm in a great space now. It sucks watching from the sideline because I just want to be out there, but just seeing the potential. We got a lot of great pieces, and I'm excited to get on the court with those guys.
You're eligible for extension this summer. If they offered you an extension, would you be willing to accept it?
Of course. Of course. I wouldn't be able to sign it fast enough.
$181 million max rookie extension that he is eligible for. Only played in 85 games in his career, though. That makes him just the third #1 overall pick since 1966 to play in fewer than 100 games in 3 seasons after they were drafted. Of course, Greg Oden dealt with multiple injuries, and David Robinson spent the first 2 years of his career in the Navy before playing all 82 games in year 3.
With that, a dramatic stage is set for the second round between the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. The season series was split 2-2 in the regular season. The last time we saw these teams head-to-head, early April, with the champs taking it by 6 in a thriller. This time is totally different because Jason Tatum missed that game with the knee injury. Now, a big part of Boston's success this year has been the defense. The Celtics held their opponents to fewer than 105 points per game, the best in the NBA. Boston also led the league in opponent field goal percentage and 3-point field goal percentage. The league's defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart, had a lot to do with that. Pleased now to welcome in Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. Now, Marcus, you're coming off a sweep of Kyrie Irving and KD. The first time either player has been swept in their careers. What did it mean to you and the team to avenge last year's playoff loss to Brooklyn?
I mean, it felt good. Obviously, we didn't like the way that we went out that series. They got the best of us, but, for us, it was just going in that game and executing to the best of our ability and being the best team that we could be. Not focusing on what they are doing, what they're going to do, as much as focusing on ourselves. And, we're on to the next. So, it was a good win, a good series, and a great series as a team. So we got to keep it up.
And speaking of focusing on yourself, you led the way defensively against Kyrie and Kevin Durant in that series. Why are you so committed on that side of the ball?
I mean, it's not something that, gets a lot of high praise, in the game of basketball. It's all about the points, mostly, And I was always been told, anybody can go get 50 on any given day. You can luck up and get 50 or get 20. Anybody can get 20 on any given day. But getting 20 and stopping your opponent from getting 20, that's something different. Not everybody can do that. So, I want to be one of those guys that, is a multitask of things in my arsenal when it comes to my game, not only in the defense but offensive end as well.
All right, the next test. Now you'll face Giannis and the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. What's the key to slowing down the 2-time MVP?
Team. We got to make everything tough for him. He's, defending champ. He understands what it takes to be in this situation, to be there. He knows what it takes to get where we're trying to get to, and that's a championship. So, and his teammates around him understand it. And that's the big key. We're going to take a full team effort. And it's not going to be easy, but it's a challenge for sure, and it's going to be fun to be able to go up against one of the greatest players in the game of basketball today.
So I want to get back to your squad, right? So Jason Tatum with the most points in a 4-game series sweep in franchise history. What's the biggest reason for his rise to one of the best in the league?
He's understanding the game more. He's just letting the game come to him more, and I think we can all see it. It's just so fluent. And, it's no rush. He's always under control. He's always poised. And with a player like that, when he can be comfortable and things are starting to slow down for him, he started to flourish and on that side of the court. And we're seeing it, like you said, that's history being made. And, you got to be proud of him and the work that he's put in to get here and to even keep going. So, The way that he's seeing the game and the way that it's slowing down for him, I think, is what's helping him flourish the way he has been.
Yeah, he's definitely been lights out lately. It's all right. So earlier this season, when the team was struggling, Jaylen Brown was rumored to be on the trading block. What's it like hearing the noise while powering through all of that?
Oh, it's part of the game. It's part of the business side of it. I've been on the trade block every year since I've been here, so it's definitely something that is there. But it shouldn't affect the way that you play. You go out there and do what you're supposed to do, and everything else will handle itself. So, and that's the way Jaylen approached it, and that's how we all have approached it, and that's why we've been flourishing. Our minds are free. And we're just out there having fun playing basketball.
All right, so last question. You had Brad Stevens last year. You're doing this under rookie head coach Ime Udoka. Why do you think he's having this much success in his first year?
I mean, for Ime, he was able to be around, some of the greatest coaches to do it. Being able to coach some of the greatest players. He's learned from his time as playing as well. So he has the arsenal he needs and the resources in that arsenal for him to be doing what he's doing now. And it's no surprise to us. Coming in, he had a way that he wanted to play. He had a way of culture that he wanted to be. And he stuck with it. And when you got a coach like that's played, who understands the game, and who has the experience with coaching with other guys that are great, there's no surprise for us coming in and taking on the same, personality that he has.
He's the defensive player of the year who also just happens to look really cool in a robe. Marcus Smart, thanks for joining us on SportsCenter, man.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Max, speaking of guys making an impact on the court, Ja Morant, the league's most improved player, stepped up in a big way in Game 5 against the Timberwolves. With his team down 13 in the final seconds of the third quarter, Ja Morant's poster dunk on Malik Beasley, it ignited a Grizzlies comeback that ended with the Ja Morant game-winning lay-in with 1 second left. Now, Sports Science examines the jaw-dropping, get it, jaw-dropping athleticism of Ja Morant. Here's Jay Williams.
Memphis Grizzlies high-flying star Ja Morant might be the most explosive athlete in the NBA.
Oh my goodness!
And this season, he isn't just elevating himself to the next level, but his team as well. So how is Morant able to make plays like this? Let's take a look. Morant has a reported max vert of 44 inches. That's 8 inches higher than the league average at the guard position. This means when chasing down blocks, he can soar 1.5 feet above the rim. In fact, we estimate Morant's block radius to be 3,500 cubic feet. That's the same block radius as center Clint Capella, who's 7 inches taller. Now, the key to Morant's athleticism lies in the explosive muscles of his lower body. See, during the propulsion phase of a vertical jump, your body relies on a quick burst of energy generated by the thick fibers called fast-twitch muscles. And Morant is able to use these powerful fibers to generate enough vertical momentum to launch himself at over 20 miles per hour. That's actually on par with the takeoff speed attained by Olympic long jumpers. Now, once he's airborne, Morant can tap into his elite level of body control thanks to sensory cells in his muscles called proprioceptors. These neural navigators send information to the central nervous system, allowing Morant's brain to map out his body in space. This is a huge reason why he can spin 360 degrees and lay it in while only having visual contact with the hoop for just 0.3 of a second.
Spins off Hill and scores!
But what we really want to know is what's the farthest distance Morant can throw one down from? Well, if like a long jumper, Morant measures his steps back from his launch point, he can maximize his takeoff speed to almost 21 miles per hour. Factor in the 10.5-foot apex of his trajectory, as well as his lengthy 6'7" wingspan. And we believe that Morant can flush it from 16 feet out. That's a foot beyond the free throw line. All this to say, someone needs to convince this man to sign up for the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Until then, we'll just have to settle for Morant's